Thank you very much. I'm Pablo Vagliente from Avina Foundation. First of all, I'd like to tell you that we're going to have presentations in Spanish and Portuñol, which is a mix of Spanish and Portuguese. As you may know, the way we get to understand each other between Brazilians and Argentinians is to speak Portuñol, a mix of Spanish and Portuguese. I'd like to ask the speakers to please stick to your times so that we can meet our goals, that is, making presentations and having questions and answers at the end. Briefly, water management and efficiency in sustainable conservation in agriculture. Two challenges which are very important. In Avina Foundation, which is a Latin American foundation that promotes sustainable development, we have a Latin American program called Access to Water, which is focused on democratic governance in the use of water, and a focus on community management of water. We have a chance to learn about very good practices, very good cases, and 3 of those cases will be represented here. Itaipu, which has a star program, I think. I'm very familiar with it, and I think this program is amazing, the Cultivating Good Water program. One of our speakers will be talking about this excellent example of coordination and participative management, which has now extended to 6 countries in our region after being created in Brazil. Mello, hídrica, will also be focused on the rice production with a sustainable method and with a very direct challenge. It's strictly related to water efficiency. So we'll see how Ivan describes this challenge to us. And there's another case which I'm very familiar with, and which is a huge challenge for Coca-Cola Company, with the Coca-Cola South Latin unit, and the sustainability director, Perez, is here with us. We have a partnership with them to promote sustainable conservation and effective access of poor populations to water. Christian will focus on one of those cases, which will help us analyze sustainable conservation, the impact on the use of land, and the impact on biodiversity. We will learn all about this through the Guanacache Lake case in the Cuyo region in Argentina. So let's start with José João Passini from Itaipu.
Muchas gracias.
The speaker is going to speak in Portuguese, and we'll do our best to translate into English, since we're not Portuguese translators. I'm going to speak in a mix of Portuguese and Spanish. I'm going to speak Spanish slowly so that you can understand me. Over these 10 minutes, I'll try to get to the end of my presentation.
Por isso eu vou falar uma pequena parte
do que é o cultivando água boa.
I'll talk about our Cultivating Good Water project.
Programa desenvolvido pela Itaipu Nacional.
This is a program promoted by Itaipu.
E que a partir de 2003 faz uma mudança.
In 2003, its mission changed.
Além de produzir energia elétrica com qualidade,
the goal was to generate quality electric power with social and environmental responsibility. When our mission changed, there was also a change in our focus. You can see where we are located next to the Iguazu Falls. This is a binational program. It involves the Brazilian and the Paraguayan sides. In Brazil, there are 1 million people in this area and 29 municipalities. The basis of this program is something which was already created, which already existed. Itaipu did not invent anything. So 20 programs were created. I'm only going to describe 3 or 4 programs here. Innovative governance is one of them. These are the 4 focus areas we have focused on over the last 4 years. These are the steps for implementing the program. We focus on technical people, on researchers. We went through different stages. Initially, we created managing committees which help all social players join our discussion. There is 1 committee per municipality, and there is also 1 committee per micro-basin. And the committee involves the main social players. All communities are invited to present their concerns and post them on our wailing wall. Then there are group discussions, and those programs are discussed among all groups, and the wailing wall becomes a wall of hope. In a third stage, we design the road forward, how to improve our micro-basin. This is our way forward. This helps the community. And finally, we have a water charter that includes the concerns and the solutions. And as a result of this, we celebrate this charter with all the players involved, the municipalities, researchers, banks, cooperatives. They all get together and celebrate this so as to get to a solution for the micro-basin.
Se assina, né, esse pacto para a realização das atividades. Bom, todo o trabalho que nós fazemos também é baseado em educação ambiental, na perspectiva de que as pessoas que estão trabalhando no campo e a própria sociedade urbana possam entender e compreender o que se fala. Eu vou fazer um rápido comentário. Nessa imagem, né, que é uma imagem da microbacia, em que as mulheres, quando fizeram a torta, né, o bolo, elas não tinham antes essa mentalidade da microbacia. E após todo o trabalho de educação ambiental, elas incorporam esse território como um território que a própria natureza trabalhou e a própria natureza criou do processo, né, de desenvolvimento. Então, por isso que a educação ambiental e toda a discussão feita com a comunidade é fundamental, de forma participativa. E depois disso se faz, então, as convenções, os convênios, os contratos para a realização das atividades. Então, não vou entrar no detalhe de cada um, mas se trabalha toda na perspectiva da conservação do solo, na conservação da água, na conservação da biodiversidade. E aqui a gente pode ver um pouco os resultados desses últimos 14 anos. Então, nós estamos com mais de 200 microbacias já trabalhadas, né, com readequação de estradas, conservação de solos, com distribuidores de dejetos animais, readequações de estradas rurais, né? E, ao mesmo tempo que se faz as ações, se faz o monitoramento. Se monitora, tanto do ponto de vista da participação da comunidade, como o monitoramento técnico-científico. Esse monitoramento participativo permite que as pessoas, identificando os problemas, corram atrás das soluções, né? Bom, e além de todas aquelas atividades anteriores, a Itaipu Nacional, com alguns parceiros importantes, como o IAPAR, a Embrapa, a Federação de Plantio Direto, a Emater, desenvolve tecnologias de difusão do plantio direto desde 2000, né? Então, é muito mais antigo que os 14 anos, inclusive já obtendo alguns resultados publicados, e mais recentemente foi desenvolvido, especialmente com a parceria com a Federação Brasileira de Plantio Direto e Irrigação, um índice de qualidade do plantio direto, tá? Então, é um índice que permite avaliar a qualidade do plantio direto que está sendo desenvolvido na bacia. Hoje, eu diria, sem receio, que quase 100% da região está sob o sistema de plantio direto, porém, nós temos que cuidar para que a qualidade dele seja melhor, né? Como já foi colocado hoje. Eu não vou entrar nos detalhes, né? Apenas mostrar que ele é uma composição de 8 indicadores, que, a partir das discussões, se transforma no índice. E tudo isso foi feito de forma participativa, ou seja, com agricultores e técnicos de campo, ajudando a discutir esses indicadores, o peso deles na formação do índice, né? E tudo aferido de tal forma que eu possa dizer, bom, se eu tenho determinado valor do índice, significa que isso ele responde à realidade do campo, né? Ok, isso está hoje numa plataforma sediada pela Federação e o Parque Tecnológico de Itaipu. Ok, isso inclusive está à disposição. E por fim, para que a gente possa fazer as avaliações do trabalho, nós reunimos, né, nas municipalidades inicialmente, nos 29 municípios, os atores, o público dos nossos programas, para verificar aquilo que nós fizemos e aquilo que nós deveríamos fazer, os desafios para o próximo ano. E, uma vez por ano também, um grande encontro anual, né, que aqui eu estou mostrando até o ano 2008, mas nós temos isso até o ano 2016, em que a gente foi crescendo no número de participações. Hoje a gente reúne em torno de 4, às vezes até 5 mil pessoas, para discutir o programa e fazer a avaliação do programa, né? Bom, então, em rápidas palavras, um pedaço do Cultivando Água Boa para vocês, né? E fico à disposição para as perguntas. Muito obrigado.
Usted usó 9 minutos, así que estuvo aún con mucha eficiencia en el tiempo. Dos cosas que no mencionó Joao, que me parece que son importantes, y no las dijo por modestia, me parece, pero para Naciones Unidas, el propio secretario general, el anterior, Ban Ki-moon, lo destacó como la mejor solución a nivel de gestión participativa de cuencas en el mundo al proyecto hidroeléctrico de Itaipú. Y otro hito para mí significativo de este proyecto es que también está reconocido por UNESCO por la conservación de la reserva de biosfera, ¿no? Otro hito muy significativo a la hora de pensar la responsabilidad social y la sustentabilidad como práctica institucional. Ahora vamos a invitar entonces a Cristian Pérez de Coca-Cola para que nos cuente también el enfoque de la empresa y uno de los proyectos emblema. Por favor, Cristian.
Gracias, Pablo. Primero, agradecer a la organización de
Thank you, Pedro. First of all, I'd like to thank Aapresid for having invited us to participate in this event. It seems weird that Coca-Cola Company in the mass consumption industry will participate in this type of events, but when we describe our value chain, where it starts and where it finishes, what we clearly see is that agriculture is for us one of the most important sectors, because this is where one of our main inputs comes from: fruit juices and sweeteners such as sugar or corn syrup. So for us, the value chain is key. As a beverage company, we feel we're part of a chain that involves lots of people working together to produce a product that starts in the farms and ends on a shelf, in a small kiosk, in a supermarket, a grocery store, where you may find our company's products: a beverage, a juice, mineral water. And this is what you see, the whole process. Regional economies are key for us. Where in Argentina, I apologize for making my presentation in Spanish, but today in Argentina, we're aware of the fact that regional economies are going through or facing several challenges. And since we're one of the main buyers of juice in the country, we believe we have responsible for being close to regional economies, supporting their transition, and being part of the solutions so as to generate value proposals that will help us leverage the sectors and help the small farm holders who are part of our chain. What you see up on the screen is our impact in terms of juice purchases. The company buys every year $250 million in concentrated fruit juices in different regions in Argentina: in the north, in the northwest, northeast, in the river area, in the Cuyo region, in Rio Negro and Neuquén provinces. Out of those 42,000 tons, 80% is exported to the rest of the world. So we may very well say that there is a bit of Argentina all over the world through these exports of concentrated juice, and the remaining 20% is used to produce beverages in Argentina. So, as you may see, the agricultural sector and regional economies are key for us, and we believe we have to work together with the different sectors so as to contribute solutions. By sustainability, we mostly mean that sustainability is related to what we do. And we are in a panel that deals with water, and precisely besides juices, another main ingredient for us is water. As a beverage company, basically what we sell is a liquid, packaged, bottled product for consumers. So basically, we use a lot of water. In the case of juice, similarly to what happens with juices, we believe we're also responsible for making an efficient use of water, for managing and preserving river basins, and we also have to be efficient and help communities have access to water, especially in those areas where water is a scarce resource for various reasons. So as I was telling you, sustainability is related to what we do. It is related to our mission, which may be summarized in creating economic, social, and environmental value for communities where we are present. And our sustainability strategy is based on the principles of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. When these new 17 goals were published in 2015, we started a process to connect our sustainability strategy, pillars, and goals with the 17 United Nations goals for sustainable development and countries' development. Our sustainability strategy is based on 3 pillars. I'm going to focus on the pillar in the middle, the environment, but there's 3 pillars in all. The first one is welfare. It starts with the products developed by our company and our commitment to consumers. Second pillar is related to the environment. We work on power consumption, water, land, and the third pillar is related to the community. And in this pillar, we focus on 2 areas: community strengthening and civil society, and economic empowerment of women, especially women involved in our value chain in the agricultural sector, recycling sector, commercial channel, so as to work together to strengthen and empower women who, in Argentina, this is a global trend, are key in our development agenda. We have to strengthen women, especially from an economic point of view, so as to generate wealth based on this. In the case of the environment, and particularly in the case of water, even though water is one of our main ingredients, we know it is also a key resource for life. Without water, there is no life, and without life, there is nothing. So we have a huge responsibility to be efficient, to use water carefully, and to take water to those communities where it is not available. Our water strategy involves three components. First, resupplying. So through different projects, we have to resource water. We have to take water back to the community where we are taking it from, and I'm going to share a case with you which is related to different projects we have in Argentina to take water back to the communities. And globally, as a company, we made the decision to replace 100% of water. And thanks to projects such as the one I'm going to share with you in partnership with Avina Foundation, the World Wildlife Foundation, we were able to meet that goal 5 years in advance. Today, we're resupplying 100% of water used in our processes. The second component is reduction in the use of water. We have to be more efficient. We have to reduce the amount of water we use to produce our beverages. The goal by 2020 is to go from 7.2 to 1.7 liters of water to produce 1 liter of beverage. From 2006 to 2015, we have been able to reduce water consumption by 23%. We're still going down. Today, the percentage is around 2%. We think we will reach 2020 with 1.7 liters of water per liter of beverage we produce. And we also want to treat all the water we use in our plants so that it can go back to the rivers or to the water basins without any type of pollution. 100% of water used in our plants and that returns to the water basins is treated through different water management technologies and techniques. In Argentina, we have 3 major projects, 2 in the province of Mendoza, 1 in the province of Córdoba, and these 3 projects were the result of our work coordinated with Avina Foundation, which is a strategic partner in water resupply. We have also worked with local players such as Humedales Foundation, El Cuenco Civil Foundation. They are the ones who mobilize these processes in their regions, and they are the ones who ensure sustainability and continuity of projects in the longer term. I'd like to emphasize the joint work between the private sector, civil society, and local governments so that we can all together work and improve efficient use of water as well as water management. This is a 2 to 3 minutes long video that summarizes our water resupply strategy and describes the specific case of Laguna de Guanacache project in north of the province of Mendoza. Because of the region characteristic, water is a key resource, not only from an environmental point of view, but also from an economic point of view. Coca-Cola, we believe that water is a key resource for life, health, and economic development of communities. Within this framework, we took up a global commitment to resupply 100% of water we use back to nature and the communities by 2020. In order to achieve this, we have implemented different projects to return, recycle, and resupply water all over the world. This is part of our company's heart. As regards water, we work to give water back to nature, the water we use in our products and productive processes. In Argentina, we've already met our goal, and we have been able to do this 5 years ahead of our deadline. Together with Avina Foundation, Humedales Foundation, and Coca-Cola Argentina, we developed a project to restore the main areas in Guanacache Lake area. Guanacache Lakes went through a degradation process due to erosion caused by the wrong management of water, deforestation, overgrazing, and invasion of exotic species. Our goal was to generate conservation programs, access to drinking water, and recovery of rainfall. We work together with the communities and local associations. The possibility of recovering some areas through these works help us to increase access to water, and it also through these areas we recovered, we were also able to recover water and improve water access. We believe that as part of the strategies of climate change, change mitigation, adaptability, this is a key example of adaptability. How can the community adjust to the changes we may see in terms of climate to optimize use of resources? Thanks to the project to restore wetlands in Guanacache, sweetwater reservoirs were recovered, grazing areas were recovered, and wildlife came back to the region. Up to 2015, Coca-Cola and its partner bottling companies resupplied 191,000 billion liters of water. The main resource here is water. If you have water, everything is okay, but without water, there's nothing. What you see here on these pictures is the before and the after the things that were done as a result of this project. At the top you see the original area, and at the bottom you can see how the area was recovered as a result of different infrastructure works. A green belt was created on these river basins. When we started to work on this project, and we started to work on water conservation, we realized that besides working on water conservation, we're also working on creating economic value, because in brief, many of these communities live from cattle breeding activities. Water came back, which also meant that productive activity came back to this area too. In order to conclude, there is the other two pillars. We try to strengthen civil society organizations, work together with the World Wildlife Foundation, and as I've already told you, also work in the Access to Water project. Last week we signed an agreement with the Ministry of Agro-Industry of Argentina, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Social Development, to take safe water to over 120 rural schools and 13 provinces in Argentina. This is only the beginning, and we're moving forward. Thank you very much for your attention.
Muy bien, gracias, Cristian. Invitamos entonces ahora a Iván Mello del Instituto Riograndense del Arroz, IRGA, para que nos cuente también en sus 10 minutos la presentación.
Hola. Muy buenos días. Es un placer, un honor estar en más un congreso de Aapresid y por supuesto en un congreso mundial de agricultura y conservación. Vamos a hablar un poco de qué estamos haciendo con con uso eficiente de agua en uno de los cultivos más importantes de nuestra región, aquí en el sur, en el cono sur de América del Sur, y cómo estamos manejando con la agricultura de conservación y todo lo que se habla de conservación, de ecología, de ambientalismo, cómo estamos trabajando en estos retos, ¿no? Me parece que ¿Ahí va? Ah, ok. Entonces, gracias, señor. Ok. Bueno, señor, se habla mucho del contexto, ¿no? Que estamos con cambios climáticos, por demandas por alimentos y así por delante. Entonces, en todas las charlas se repite que los problemas que tenemos nosotros para enfrentar en el futuro, como la disponibilidad de tierras para producir alimentos, la disponibilidad de agua, el cambio climático, ¿no? Hay algunos que dicen que sí, otros que no. Mira que este es un agricultor en nuestro país, en nuestro estado, que en menos de 2 años tuvo la misma situación de inundación, tanto si estaba en el Niño o una situación neutral como el último mes de junio ahora, ¿no? Y también el hombre, ¿no? La humanidad tiene una responsabilidad muy grande, muy fuerte, porque está haciendo cosas que no deberíamos estar haciendo. Entonces, en 2015, en noviembre, en el río Dulce, en Minas Gerais y Espíritu Santo, hubo un desastre que, bueno, sin proporciones, ¿no? Bueno, ya está citado, estamos todos los objetivos, y entre ellos está cómo mejorar la calidad y la eficiencia de uso de los recursos naturales. Pero principalmente en nuestro caso como agricultores es evitarmos contaminación de los recursos hídricos con pesticidas y con fertilizantes, ¿no? Ese es uno de los retos principales que tenemos. Bueno, tenemos problemas, pero tenemos también muchas fortalezas, ¿no? Por ejemplo,
problems and strengths. Brazil has a lot of available water. It is not very well distributed, but for us in the Uruguay River watershed and the River Plate basin, we have as much water as in the Amazonia. We have to closely follow what researchers are contributing regarding technology, and we need to use the indicators that lead us to water use efficiency. In the past 15 years, with the same amount of water, we produce almost doubled the production of rice. We produce the same amount in kilos using the same amount of water. And this is key for us to work ahead. We need to remember that the landscape management in an integrated system with conservation agriculture is central in order to keep the water resources that are in our land. And in order to continue improving, we need to monitor. We will see what is happening now, because we have been implementing no-till and conservation agriculture for more than 40 years now. Here we have the Director of the Secretary of Agriculture. We have the honor to have him in this meeting, and he can witness that our Secretary is involved. He came back after 20 years and he drew up a new agenda to tackle erosion. We are having 90% erosion. Why are we having erosion again? What is going on? What is happening? In general, farmers implement quality no-tillage or conservation agriculture. This was said by John Passini. There are lots of initiatives in Brazil that gives us the message that we need to prepare our soil to achieve higher yields. The Brazilian Strategic Soybean Committee, in the last growing season, the highest yield was 9 tons of soybean per hectare. In order to produce this yield, he needs to do special activities in his field. Professor Afaranho Reeds, who used to work in Santa Maria, now he is a member of the UNEFRA, he has conducted research, and he knows that in order to recover water from the soil in Pasto Fundo, with a quality no-till system, we need 6 years to recover the original water amount in the soil. So we need time. The governments and the society is struggling. There is this fight between the environmental aspect against the productive aspects. Now we sort of find a harmonized context because farmers are following the forest code legislation, and the conclusion is that farmers are complying with their responsibility. There are environmental services in this area. Referring to the example that our Uruguayan colleague said, I think that the best strategy, the best environmental strategy for our soil is using the universal equation of soil loss. The certification has to be done by an agronomist, somebody involved in this business, in this activity. So this is a very important strategy taken by or adopted by Uruguay. I'm proud of that. We need to continue researching. We need to learn more about our management. We need to improve water management and water use. Rice producers in Uruguay, very close to us, implement the same management practices. We are producing more kilos of rice per amount of water. The Water Resources National Agency has in place a water use program, and it pays or gives a subsidy to producers that protect the rivers, protect the places where rivers start flowing. And this could also be done to promote conservation agriculture practices. So we should implement a measure to check how many producers implement conservation agriculture and support them with incentives.
ahorita mismo, bueno, después vamos a llegar ayer, pero en otra parte que Emilio hablaba
Emilio,
en el primer panel,
in his first panel, talked about this.
¿no?
We have a watershed.
Millones o montones de personas.
There are millions of a lot of people in our watersheds saying that we need to do this, we need to do that. There are different proposals. There are many institutions working along these lines, and they interfere with our work in the field. In Brazil, we have water resource management systems that includes the participation of farmers and the community as a whole. I think that this is a good thing. I don't know whether the government will accept this, will agree with this, that this is a good thing. The largest affluent of the Uruguay River is our own river, the Ibiqui River. And research work lead us to the conclusion that we are giving to the Uruguay River the best quality a river can have. We have 300,000 hectares planted to rice and a similar amount planted to soybean. In Uruguay, they have 5 cows per inhabitant. We have 6 cows. With all this, we are giving to the population, to Uruguay and Buenos Aires, the best quality of water for a river. We are considering the Brazilian rating, which is, or classification, which is similar to the international classification. So we are ensuring environmental services, ecosystem services, food, fiber, soil, preservation, water, but we need to monitor all this activity. We need to conduct research. We have to study the water cycles. We need to keep adopting new technologies to improve all the time. There's no doubt about that.
Eso que hablé a poco tiempo, que la nuestra pegada hídrica, vamos a hablar así, pasó de como hoy en día estamos casi
regarding water resources preservation, as I told you, we are using 1,000 liters of water per kilo of rice. And in the past, or 20 years ago, we used 2,000 liters of water to produce 1 kilo of rice. So we have achieved a significant improvement. In order to close, this is a sort of proposal that needs to be discussed, of course. We are on the 7th World Congress, and in the past 3 congresses, I didn't participate in all of them, but we are always talking about how we are evolving and how we are adding new adding more acreage under conservation agriculture, but we don't have real quality no-till systems, so our quality could be improved. So I propose, but the next Congress that will be held in Europe, we need to focus how we are converting or transforming this yield in profit or revenue for the farmer. And also we need to be able to communicate to the community or to the citizens. The people that were yesterday demonstrating outside the Congress in Argentina, they say, don't worry, but I do worry, because I don't want these people to be telling me things, because we have lots of facts to show them, and we can show them how sustainable we are. We have lots of institutions in Brapa, or lots of initiatives that allow us to show how well we are working, how we measure our work. This is a document from the government of Rio Grande do Sul state. We are delivering class 1 water, and nobody is paying for that. And this is something we are achieving. Thank you very much. We are at your disposal.
I'm sorry for being so tough on you with time, but there are some questions coming, and we hope will be time for at least a round of questions. I'd like to start with one question. Thank you, Ivo, for having brought up these critical topics. We believe there are 3 cases of good practices here, but when you talk about sustainability, sustainability is a trendy word, but you have to check every process and project to ensure that the environmental, social sustainability impacts are real, and we have to close the gaps between the most critical sectors and these types of projects. And I think the issue is that these projects are not so well known. I think you have worked on common issues: sustainability, public-private sector coordination, innovation, technological innovation, knowledge management, and an emphasis on concrete solutions for nature, for people, for underserved communities. Impact, but how can we generate not only impact and efficiency, but also scale? How can we take these good practices up to a larger scale, and how can we get them in contact with public policies so that eventually it's also regulation of these good practices? Well, I can start based on our experience. We believe that there are 2 big avenues here. The first one is to generate discussion fora, the only way to get the parties closer together and to manage social, environmental, or regional conflicts is generating discussion fora where all stakeholders can get together and openly voice their expectations, their needs, and everyone should work together to create value beyond individual interests, because as these discussions take place, it is possible to create value, and all stakeholders will be able to work on their interests without having a negative impact on the interest of the other players. And the second avenue is, for us, coordination. You have to work in partnership, especially in Argentina. We tend to be quite fragmented, and the only way of generating scale is working together. Government, civil society, companies, farmer associations, we have to work all together to extend the scope, improve our dialogue, and generate economic and social value, since that's the core of sustainability, and we think that's the road to take. Well, Itaipu's initial concern was to reach a common goal. We are continuously in touch with the federal government and with the Water Management Agency. They are significant partners to us, and we will try to extend this to the rest of Brazil. Our commitment is to meet the demands. We enjoy this acknowledgement, but this brings about responsibilities too. We have to work responsibly, and we have to involve all stakeholders in our discussion. We're working hard over the last few years. We have been trying to evolve and to meet the sustainable goals. But we have not reached all of our goals yet. We're strongly emphasizing this because we have to have an impact on the rural areas. We work in a wide way by involving national and regional governments, and we also have to work with the private sector. There's no doubt about that. And we have to set the example. I agree with my two colleagues, but I think we have to do a bit more. In the first Conservation and Agriculture Congress, a statement was issued. What was done in South America, we should copy what was done elsewhere. And the following congresses, they all issued their statements. So the statement of this Congress should be something which I personally believe in. I'm advisor to the National Water Resources Board. I represent the rural sector and the irrigation sector. Maybe we can issue a statement to take to the board and say, hey, people want this. People want us to the public sector, to ensure that the farmers will keep wanting to do their best to implement good practices, etc. So I believe that we could leave this meeting with something that we can take up to our government, to the National Water Agency. I'm completely convinced that we will have results we have never dreamed of. Thank you. There's a question that is going to be read. Question that was sent over WhatsApp.
The question is for Christian. Someone wanted to know what are the problems or consequences of building a dam in the riverbed. Do you understand? ¿Cómo ha sido las consecuencias y los problemas de construir en el lecho del río?
Consecuencias y beneficios de construir.
Benefits and consequences of building on the riverbed in the Guanacache Lake. Well, Pablo is a technical expert who should answer this question because he supported us in the Guanacache project. But basically, starting with this project, we were able to make rainfall water available and to avoid water loss due to natural processes. So as these big pools were built, water was accumulated there, and this implied that the ecosystem in the area was able to recover, and water was also used for economic activity. Pablo, you may want to add something. It's a process that helped us to develop gullies. It's related to land moving to the use of plastic mesh, but favoring rooting too, which is key and which is the main indicator of the success of our strategy. Obviously, you need time to assess this. In the meantime, some issues came up, some things were repaired, but it did not work, so a different strategy had to be developed. But I think we're all clear that over the last 5 or 6 years, most of the works were carried out and the positive impacts were achieved. I didn't have time to talk about this in my presentation. In the west border, our border with Argentina and Uruguay, we have 320,000 hectares of rice crops. 70% of water comes from dams. And this was built thanks to the private sector support over the last 70 years. So the impact is highly positive because this reduces the time it takes water to reach the ocean, and this also generates benefits, services. Well, I'm told we are running out of time, so you can talk to the speakers over the breaks so that we will not delay the next session. Thank you very much, everyone, for having attended these presentations, and thank you very much.